Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
Chiefs.
With the sixth pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Mansour Delane, defensive back, LSU. The Kansas City Chiefs select Peter Woods, defensive tackle, Clemson.
The Kansas City Chiefs select R. Mason Thomas, defensive end, Oklahoma.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Jaden Kennedy, defensive back, Oregon.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Emmett Johnson, running back, Nebraska.
The Chiefs select Cyrus Allen, wide receiver, Cincinnati.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback, LSU.
I think the focus from a lot of people is, hey, they want defense their first four picks. Outside of the corner being the first pick, Brett just let the board fall as it was. It wasn't this huge philosophy of, hey, we're going to go into this draft and just get a bunch of defensive players. It just happened that those were the best players on our board, and they did address needs that we had. So, it was kind of a perfect marriage, so to speak, that those guys that fell back or that were still left were guys that we coveted, and it was a position in need.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Good Tuesday morning to you, April 28th, 2026. Stephen St. John in studio. Thank you very much for listening to the show today. May or may not have Nate Bucati for the show. We'll find out. Jake Gutierrez and your man Deebs with us. Deebs will be taking the show over on Thursday and Friday while Jake is away. Deebs will play. I know he's looking forward to that.
Handing the guy the keys.
Cool.
Don't eat in my car. Drive the speed limit.
Oh, whatever. Today on the show, we'll talk to former Chiefs wide receiver Marc Boerigter and find out what he thought about the Chiefs draft that wrapped up over the weekend. Then we'll talk to the newest inductee. He will be, but we know who it is now. The next member of the Chiefs Hall of Fame, their all-time leading tackler, Super DJ Derek Johnson. He'll be on the show with us just after 8 o'clock. And so if you want to hear Derek Johnson and you want to hear DJ talk about entering the Chiefs Hall of Fame, tune in at 8 o'clock. That'll be awesome. It'll be good to talk to Derek Johnson again. Jamie Bluma, former Royals reliever, will talk baseball with us after we're done talking with DJ. That'll be at about 8:30. And then, wow, unbelievable. For so long, we had a group of NFL insiders, NFL draft insiders that appeared to be giving Jake Gutierrez the stiff arm and refused to ever come on the show again. And look, I think that's a nod to Jake. We get guys on the show before they really blow up. and become big names. We had Daniel Jeremiah on the show several years ago, and then he really blew up with. Is he still with NFL Network?
Yep, he is.
Move the Sticks, NFL Network. Now he's probably their top NFL draft analyst.
Yeah, he was the face of their coverage.
That's exactly, and he is the face of not returning Jake's text messages. And so don't expect him. Nice guy.
Yeah.
We had him on the show many times.
I never had a problem with him.
He has no interest in
Apparently had a problem
responding
with
to you. Yeah.
I think he just lives on the West Coast.
How long has it been since he's answered a text?
You know what? This morning I was thinking about that. I was typing out the rundown because I don't
you
have
knew this was going to come up.
Like I did, and I don't have because I don't have any ill will towards him.
No, it's just
Okay, the last time he answered my text, I sent him a text. So April 17th, 2019.
That's been a bit.
I said, any chance?
If it's been pre-COVID since you talked to somebody, then I'm going to guess they'll never come on the show again.
And so I asked him, and he said, I'm slaying man from the draft, so I can't. I said, okay, thanks, buddy. Maybe after. No response. And then I checked back with him later on that month.
No.
And then March of 2020.
Oh.
I reached out to him, no response. And then May of 2020, reach out to him with no response.
I'm going to go into May of 2020. He didn't have a lot on his hands. That was,
right.
Hopefully
things slowed down quite a bit.
In January of 21, then March.
So how many text messages in a row that haven't been answered?
The last time I texted him was April of 2023. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 texts.
I'm glad you realized that ship sailed.
Well, I was going to text him this morning.
Go ahead. So he's on the list. Lewis Riddick started coming on the show.
He was a regular guest.
Yeah.
For a weekly guest before he started working for ESPN.
Right. Then he really blew up.
Yeah.
And how long has it been since he's answered you?
Let's check out that dialogue.
Oh, boy. Doesn't sound like much. Sounds like more of a monologue.
Right.
Well, I mean, at one point
he used to come on the show a lot.
Yeah. He was a weekly guest. Wow, it's been a while. Let's see.
You could say this show launched his career.
I don't know about that.
Maybe not, but he was on the way up.
Yeah, I can't even find.
We can identify talent, we just can't keep it. It's a long time ago.
Right.
And so then we thought that Matt Miller was going to be in that group. And so where was Matt Miller working when he first came on the show?
Bleacher Report.
Okay.
He started at Bleacher Report. I think he's from Joplin.
He's local.
He used to listen to the show.
And that's why he stopped texting you. Like, God, this show sucks. And so but then he really blew up. And now he's one of ESPN's main guys.
Right.
And so then how long has it been since we've had him on the show? But then I saw someone reach out to him on X, and he said something like, no, I love those guys. I'll go back on with them again. And then I said, well, should my faith in Jake be rattled? Is Jake just not being truthful with me? Is he not reaching out to Matt Miller, and Matt Miller's ready to come on this show and just hasn't been contacted? So where are we at here? How long did...
Well, because
the point is, Matt Miller's coming on the show at 9:30.
I will say, at no point in time did Matt Miller ever not return.
He always answered,
yes,
and you just couldn't work something out.
Look,
because that's all you're looking for. Just respond.
These guys get super busy.
That's right.
And he used to handle his own schedule. Now he works for ESPN, and he has somebody else handle their schedule.
He's got everyone in the country trying to get him on the show.
Right. So I had to go through. I contacted him directly, and he said, "Here, email. I'll
go through the proper channels, please."
But he said, "I'll definitely come on. I just have her do it, and I'll make sure she knows that this is an interview that I want."
Tried to jump the line, and he said, "Get in line and go through the proper channels."
Well, I think, of course I did, because I have his personal contacts.
Right.
I'll always jump the line.
But then you followed. His instruction.
His handler, who was
probably helps him schedule everything, so he keeps everything straight. And I wonder if he gets extra credit at ESPN for doing stuff like that. Popping on different.
We're an affiliate, so I would imagine so.
It's on my byline, so I think it probably helps.
I would say that's they don't frown upon it.
No.
Yeah.
A little extra, get a little extra run out there. So, but he never just went completely dark.
Right. Yeah.
That's.
So Matt Miller will review the Chiefs draft with us at 9:30. That's a big get. How long has it been since you've been on the show?
Ooh.
What would you get? It's been a minute.
It has. Let's see. See if I can go back.
I'm glad he's coming on the show.
I mean, he's always been a really super nice guy. Let's see. It was probably back in 2021.
All right. Good draft to have him back on to
Absolutely.
discuss. That should be fun. Also, we're going to play some clips, another recap of the draft, but with Kansas City Chiefs Vice President of Player Personnel, Ryan Nutt, who spoke with the media yesterday, and we have some really good quotes about the entire draft, individual players, the UDFA class.
Well, that was a tough nut to swallow.
That's right. And so he'll be on the show, or those clips will be on the show. We'll play, I think several of them will play for Marc Boerigter and get his reaction, get his comments to what Ryan Nutt has to say about who the Chiefs selected. The Royals were off yesterday after getting the sweep against the Angels, after such a dramatic victory. Still just can't believe they won that game on Sunday after a lengthy rain delay, after the game had been, the start time had been moved, after several times I didn't think there's no way that they're going to finish this game. And they did. And it ended up as the biggest comeback so far in Major League Baseball this year, and the best win for the Royals this year so far, an 11-9 walk-off victory in 10 innings that saw Jack Caglione tie the game down to the Royals' final out. He had a big home run in the ninth, and then Lane Thomas, once again with the Royals down to the final out, walked it off with a 3-run home run that gave the Royals the sweep over the Angels at Kauffman Stadium. And hopefully they can build on this, because that could be a big turning point in this season. Giving the Royals that sweep, but just some of the individual things that happened in that game. Seth Lugo not having his A game, not having his best stuff, looking like he was only going to last a couple of innings, gutting it out and getting into the 7th inning and giving up 14 hits and helping to save the bullpen, or helping at least the Royals to put themselves in position to where they would have the advantage once the game went to the bullpens, and that's exactly what happened. Jack Caglione facing a left-hander with the game on the line, with the Royals down to the final out, and crushing a home run to tie the game in dramatic fashion, giving him the confidence to know that he can come through in a big moment against a lefty, and more importantly, giving Matt Quatrero the confidence that he can come through in a moment like that. And hopefully we'll see him in the lineup against more lefties. Let's go. And then Lane Thomas, the guy that has been brought in. He was brought in to specifically provide more production for the Royals against left-handed pitching. And boy, after Michael Garcia worked a 2-out, 8-pitch walk, Lane Thomas comes to the plate and hit that home run that gave the Royals the dramatic victory. And so I'm sure the Royals were thrilled with that, because that's exactly what they brought Lane Thomas in for, to come through big, a big at bat against a lefty and help the Royals win the game. And now the Royals need to capitalize on it. They get a day off to get rested. Hopefully, Michael Garcia, who had been out of the starting lineup on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but he came in late, as I mentioned, and that was good to see, because I was afraid that, that injury with his elbow was going to linger, and ultimately maybe they were going to put him on the IL. But they kept saying he's close, and for him to come in that game and have an impact like that, if he doesn't walk, if he doesn't get on base, then maybe we're never talking about Lane Thomas and that big home run and We're not talking about the Royals getting that big victory. And so he came in and made a big impact, just getting on base and being Michael Garcia. But now the Royals need to go and back that up and beat a team they should beat. I almost said the Oakland Athletics. They don't exist anymore. What do we call them?
I mean, they're just the Athletics,
yeah,
right?
I'm looking here. It says Kansas City Royals versus Athletics.
Right. They don't want to go by Sacramento Athletics because
They
they're
should.
moving to Vegas.
Well, that's where they play.
Let's call them Sacktown A's.
Right. Sacktown A's.
I like that
Wait,
name.
what else can you call them?
Yeah.
What else do you want to call them?
The Philly, Kansas City, Oakland, Sacktown, soon to be Vegas A's. Team that's really, set down some roots somewhere.
And they have talent. They're not a bad team. They're 15-13. So this isn't some last place basement dweller. And so the Royals need to pitch well, and the Royals need to play well and need to continue to hit the ball, which they did. How about that? Not only did they get the sweep, but they scored 6 runs, 12 runs, and 11 runs. And so I'm not ready to say that the offense is fixed, but it sure is a lot better than every night watching him score 0, 1, 2, 1, 1. That was difficult to watch. But now maybe the offense is broken out of their funk, and they can go to Oakland and capitalize on the momentum that they created by sweeping the Angels. I'd like to see Chris Bubich pitch well. He gets the nod tonight. 8:40. So back to having to stay up late to watch the Royals. I heard that. What was that noise you just made?
Oh, I forgot.
You don't love it?
Late nights. I don't know.
8:40.
No, I don't love it. No, I don't.
At least the games are a little faster now.
Yes.
It's true. It's a very good point.
This is one of those times that's a good deal.
Yeah.
You'll get Chris Bubich, Michael Wacha, and Noah Cameron in the series before the Royals head to Seattle.
Hopefully got a red-hot Bobby Witt Jr., too. He's got that home run.
That's what Mike Boerigter was touting last night several times at the Boerigter Foundation 6th Annual Bourbon Raffle to benefit Children's Mercy Hospital. Mike Boerigter was very excited, and he said, Steve, one of the few people that calls me Steve, and it's allowed because he can call me whatever he wants. He said, Steve, Bobby's getting hot. If Bobby's getting hot now, they're going to take off. It's all right. Let's do it. By the way, the Royals away from Kauffman Stadium, 2-10. So not good on the road so far this year.
That's got to even out. That's got regression to the mean coming up. It means they're going to get hot on the road this time.
A's are 5-5 in Sacktown.
Sacktown, what a town!
Have you been there?
Yeah,
I like it.
It's an interesting place.
Have I been there? No. I don't think so.
I mean,
I've been to the California State Fair there.
As California cities go, it's one of the more tolerable ones.
I have not been there.
It's all right. It's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe.
It's a different vibe
Very
than
different
SoCal
vibe.
or the Bay Area.
Yeah.
The Bay Area is not a place you really want to be nowadays, unfortunately.
Very few places that I want to be nowadays. All right? I'm going to add that to the list.
Yeah.
But someplace I did want to be last night,
Yeah.
I mentioned, was the Boerigter Foundation Bourbon Raffle.
What a great night.
It was a great night, and Jake was there, Deeves was there, Nate was there.
Whole family was there.
Jamie Bluma was there. My dad was there.
Pops was there.
Yeah.
Dude, I was excited to talk to him. He said he's been hanging out at St. John the Baptist with the old crew a bunch, which is awesome.
He's been getting out and about. He's had people picking him up.
He's been playing some bingo.
Yep. I went and picked him up last night.
That's awesome.
I love bingo.
Last time I played bingo, I told you I won.
That's right.
So I just walked away. I don't want to form a habit.
Right. Right.
Go out on top,
Not
baby.
at this stage.
Well, then there was a bunch of older people that play on a regular basis at this event I went to.
Yeah. Newbies.
For St. Gabe's, they did not like me winning.
Yeah, newbies. They don't like
because I wasn't really
beginner's
sure.
luck.
I was like, I won. I won. You gotta say if you won. Went up there and I won one of the bigger jackpots, and just it wasn't well received by some, so that's fine. But last night, if you watch the stream, hopefully some of our listeners won fabulous prizes, fabulous bottles of bourbon. 52 different winners last night on the live stream. And it was me and Mike Boerigter, and we had Nate up there for a little bit. We had Jake up there. Deebs made an appearance up there. He was very excited to be on the mic. We had Jamie Bluma. We had Chad Boger. And so we had a nice revolving door of different people up there to help us draw names. And the end result is, and I always love when there's a giant check involved, a giant check presented to Children's Mercy on behalf of the Boerigter Foundation. And a lot of this money comes from listeners of Sports Radio 810 and listeners of New Day with SSJ. $115,612.
Wow.
How about that? $115,612. And so now, in their 6 years of doing this, it just started off as just an idea. So remember when it was James called me. I was in my front yard. I can't remember what I was doing. I was in my front yard. And he called me and asked me if I would be involved. And I said, whatever it is, whatever you guys decide to do, count me in, and I'm good to go. And so I've helped MC this all 6 years, and we promote this on our show. We talk to Mike about this on the show, and it's been a big part of what we do, and we're very excited whenever we see the amount of money that's raised, because a lot of our listeners are part of this. And so now, in their 6 years of doing this, they've gone over $600,000 donated to Children's Mercy Hospital. How about that?
Really, it's amazing. It's amazing and the way that it's kind of gotten a little bit bigger every year. And that's a lot of bottles of bourbon, by the way.
Yep.
I mean,
a lot of work. A lot of people that make donations.
Yep.
A lot of people. I mean, his whole family is involved.
Yeah.
It takes the whole family, and then a great amount of volunteers. Just everything from top to bottom. It's
and the best part is
act.
they have the families that are impacted there, and I got to meet little Emmett.
Right.
That dude was awesome.
Oh, man.
So and that's
3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, he was a spark
Man, that
plug.
video of him ringing the bell.
Yeah.
That got you.
Yeah.
Man, that got you.
Yeah, I met him right when I walked in the door. He was with Lisa Boerigter, and that's the first guy I met. He's like, "This little Emmett, what are you doing, man?" It's like, "Having cookies." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy."
Right.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's also. I mean, that's a really cool part.
That's
of
what you should be doing. When you're 3 years old, having cookies.
Absolutely.
And the Boerigter family is on top of things. I mean, you walk in to that event, and it's buttoned up.
It's a machine.
It's organized. There was a nice lady there, like right when I walked in. She said, "Give me your name." She had like she was writing out name tags for everybody. Everything was wonderful. The studio's great, but they're on top of it, man. That whole family, and it's really cool to see, like that's the big family, and to see them all working so hard on it, working together, pretty cool.
And DMI, the production company that
Yeah.
puts it on, they do a great job.
Yeah.
DMI,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Over in Lenexa, DMI.
Yeah.
So they do a great job. Mitch, right?
That's right.
So, and they had one of those big checks there last night.
Where's my check? We'll be mailing them up next week, sir. Oh, no, I want mine now. I don't have any checks to give. Well, that guy got one, right? Give me one of them big ones. I don't care.
Right. Love the big check. Those things are heavy, by the way. All right, let's put Deebs to work. Is Deebs ready? Let's put Deebs to work. So I'm going to give something away right now. How's that sound, Jake?
Let's put them to work.
Yeah, boy.
You giving away stuff?
913-3810-810. My son, Richard, I don't know why I just said, I only call him Richard when he's in trouble. In the past when he was a kid. Richard! Richie. He's not in trouble. He's a grown man. He's the bass player for Dola White, wonderful band.
The best.
Here in Kansas City. And, boy, 3 of the very best bands that you can listen to in Kansas City Disco Dick and the Mirrorballs.
Oh, yeah.
The Zeros, and Dolomite. They're doing a decade show. 3 KC bands covering 3 decades. Disco Dick and the Mirrorballs, the 70s. Zeros covering the 80s. And Dolomite will be playing only music from the 90s. But they're going to be playing a tremendous outdoor venue at Grinders KC this Friday night, May 1st. And so if you want to go see Disco Dick and the Mirrorballs, the Zeros, and Dolomite, and scream Richie St. John's name, I will be there doing the same. I will give you a pair of tickets right now. If you know what though, but if you need 4, no, let's give you 2. If you need 4, then you can buy 2 more. How about that?
That's right.
So I'm going to split it up so I can give a pair to people listening later on.
Yeah, 2 winners.
913-3810810. You want to give away 2 winners now?
No,
split it up.
Let's split it up.
It's up to you.
Do a winner now and a winner later.
Yeah.
You want to go support my son Richie and the wonderful people from Dolomite and Disco Dick and the Mirrorballs and the Zeros.
Call now.
And it's going to be a big crowd. It's going to be a party, and the weather should be pretty damn good. All right, in the Crossroads, Grinders, outdoor venue this Friday night, 913-3810810. I'll hook you up with a pair of tickets, and if you don't win tickets, you can buy tickets at Ticketmaster. We will take a break. Back after this with Marc Boerigter on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We now welcome former Chiefs wide receiver Marc Boerigter in studio. Marc, good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you guys?
Maybe you come out on Friday to Grinders and watch Dola White, huh?
I might, yeah.
Let me know.
That's a hell of a show. That's a triple header.
Remember when you used to go out and support Dola White years ago?
I miss it.
As soon as Richie gets in the band, you stop going to watch him.
It's been a while since I've been at a show, too. I'll be honest with you.
Richie mentioned that, too.
This whole traveling on Fridays thing makes it kind of difficult.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh. Why don't you just fly
Dry
out?
your tears, buddy.
Why don't you just fly out after the show?
Cry about all that money you're making.
Yeah. Get on that PJ and get on out after the show.
It's true. I should just schedule my private jet for later.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wipe your tears as you fill your pockets with gold coins. Gold soccer coins. That's how they pay them. You know that?
Yeah.
MLS pays them with gold coins.
Oh man, it's crazy. That's the biggest pain is that they're heavy to carry around the airport.
I know, I'm sure.
You know?
I heard a rumor there's going to be a pretty entertaining MC at the FIFA World Cup Fan Fest coming up.
I've heard that. I've heard there's a guy in this room that's going to be hosting a lot of those watch parties.
Marc Boerigter.
That's right. Soccer king of Kansas City. St. John. Soccer king of Kansas City right here.
I'm looking forward to it. They've got a great lineup of talent, live music, fun. I'll be there.
It's gonna be big time.
I'm working my dates out. I got Jake even ready to go down there. Jake's talking about. I'm not going to be there that night, but Jake wants to go down there when the Chainsmokers are performing.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
Big Chainsmoker guy right there.
Yep.
Used to be one myself.
He's one of the original Chainsmokers. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a party this summer. It'll be fun.
There was a party this weekend watching the draft, Marc Boerigter. Do you like what you saw from the Chiefs?
I think it's all right, yeah.
No, boy, that's
really exciting, huh?
Take it easy. Pump the brakes there, man.
No, I think they addressed this team had a lot of needs. I think we all agree on that, right? When I say a lot of needs, they got a lot of bodies at some of the positions, but they need to find some good quality starters again at premium positions. And I thought I'm not sure if they needed to move up, necessarily right off the bat.
Get Jake started now.
But I like the pick, number one. Okay, I like the player.
Yeah, the player's the best corner.
Let's clarify. The player,
best corner in the draft.
Yeah, and I think there's a pretty strong consensus around the league and everywhere else that he was the best corner. Outside of the guy maybe from Tennessee who's had the knee injury.
Yeah, that's a big problem. McCoy.
Correct.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Delaney was the best corner in the draft. Now,
Chris Johnson's the guy that went next to the Dolphins, I believe, and there's a separation between those two.
Yeah.
There's a drop off.
So I like the player. I mean, I know there's a lot of criticism. Well, you just traded Trent McDuffie and then you traded up in the first round to get his replacement. Well, yeah, but there's also a major salary cap difference between those two guys in order to keep Trent McDuffie. So let's just take that off the table, right?
Which allows you to go get a running back.
Correct. Correct. It allows you to fill some other spots. So I think, number one, you're also getting younger. I just think that it was a good – I like the player, right? I think we're all going to sit here and say that, okay, if you're moving up from 9 to 6, he's got to be an all-pro type of player. Not necessarily this year, okay, but he's got to be an impact
Maybe
guy.
this year.
Yeah,
he's got to be an impact
He's
guy.
going to be good at this year.
The expectations are through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
To justify
absolutely.
what they did to get him. Yes.
Absolutely. And so time will tell what it looks like. Because at the end of the day, we can love all the picks they had. We can love all the moves they had. And reality is maybe one of these guys works out, okay, in a lot of situations. Like that could be the case. There's a lot of busts. And I'm not saying any of these guys are busts. I'm just saying that can happen because it is an inexact science because we're dealing with human beings.
And I think that's a big reason why I have a problem with him trading 2 of those picks. Right?
Yeah.
Because you started the comment out, your whole statement was they need bodies.
Yes.
And you just got 2 less bodies by moving up 3 spots to get this guy when, there's a good chance he wasn't going to be there, but there's also a chance that he for sure was going to be there.
Yeah.
But with the guys that were left on the board, you were going to get a good player. you were going to get a really good player.
Yeah, because drafting at 9 is a lot different than when you've been used to drafting at 29
right. and
or 32
and the guys on the
31.
board weren't the same. I mean, Sonny
Absolutely.
Styles was still on the board. Tyson was on the board, and those are the guys that went after Delane.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew that the Browns were going to use their pick on Fano, regardless whether it was at 6 or 9. They got their guy. That was pretty evident. So, you were even if the Saints took Delane, you were going to get Tyson or Downs or Bain.
But what if they didn't feel like those players fit and they didn't want those players at 9?
I get it.
Yeah.
And there's enough questions about each of those guys that you mentioned.
Yeah, when you say really good player, I think a really good prospect, is the way we should characterize all these guys because we've seen enough busts from the first round to know that not every one of those guys that was taken in the first round is going to become a really good player. So, that has to be factored in there.
It does. I think, look, I didn't love the fact that they moved up to get him, right, type of thing. But I also will say this, Brett Veach has not been one to shy away from being aggressive and going and getting a guy that when they need to go get him. And all it takes, and this is the one thing, we talked about this a little bit on the show on Thursday night on the draft show, is it's not just about the Saints in front of you or the Commanders in front of you, right? There could have been somebody behind you also that might covet that guy also that could try to leapfrog. So
the Cowboys,
yes,
or
if there's a spot where you feel like, hey, we feel we got to go get this guy and it's our guy, then you go up and do it. And so obviously they executed that, and he's here in Kansas City. And then when you start looking at the defensive tackle from Clemson, really high ceiling guy in Peter Woods, right? A guy that was really highly touted before this past college football season started.
He was considered a top 10 pick before this season started.
And obviously didn't have a great year by the terms of what that potentially looked like. A lot of factors could come into play on all that. Guy gets too big of a head, right? Getting good to get drafted, a top 10 pick, maybe doesn't play as hard. Maybe you're not on a very good team. There's all kinds of factors. Maybe battled injuries all year.
Yeah,
a lot of other
different
stuff.
things.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of different things that can happen there. So a high ceiling guy who, and I'm not putting him in this category, as I know Andy Reid made some comments about him on Thursday night after the draft that I was like, I can't believe he said that, using the term Aaron Donald with this guy. But potentially your replacement for Chris Jones moving forward, right? In the next couple of years. So, look, I think we had 2 picks in the first round. You came out of it with 2 high-ceiling guys, which is what you want. You referred to them as prospects. Absolutely. So I thought, night one went pretty well for the Chiefs.
To put things in context, I know Jake is still upset about giving up pick number 74. The third round pick.
Yeah, that's the one that for me too.
Yep.
Having to give that up, but you were gonna have to give up. You got to sacrifice something, right? But that was the one pick for me that
How about your 2027 third round pick?
Yeah. Here are the third round picks that the Chiefs have made with Brett Veach as GM. Now these third round picks, well, some of them have been in that area. Because 2018. They had 2 third-round picks. Number 75, Derek Nottie. Number 100,
they love Derek Nottie.
Dorian O'Daniel. In 2019, Colin Saunders. In 2020, Lucas Niang. Didn't have one in 2021. In 2022, Leo Chenal. In 2023, Wanya Morris. In 2024, didn't have one. And then in 2025, had 2 of them, 66 and 85, Ashton Gelati and Noel Williams. So
those are pretty
not great. The last 2 we have hope for them, but I mean,
they weren't great, but they weren't bad either. You got starters out of those. Considering all those picks.
I would consider Nottie a success, Saunders a success, and Chanel a success.
Yeah.
If you become a regular player on a Super Bowl winning team, from a third round pick.
Not even a Super Bowl winning team. If you're a third round pick, you need to be a starter at some point. And I feel like for the most part, when you read off all those guys again.
But there's nothing there that's preventing me from going up and getting the guy I want at one if I'm going to get a superstar.
If he becomes a superstar.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what he has to be to justify the trade.
Yeah. But of all those third-round picks, outside of like Dorian O'Daniel, like Wanye Morris has started games, right? Leo Chanel, has been he's been a role type guy, but like there's, I'm just saying.
I know he has, but it's not been.
No, not on a consistent basis. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
Leo was good.
Just because you're on the field doesn't mean that you.
Leo was good.
No, he's very good. I think Nadi was a part of all those.
He was solid.
Yeah.
You know,
he was so good they kept bringing him back.
Right.
Like
Well,
that.
that's been a problem.
By the end,
I know it's cherry picking, but Dorsey got Kelsey in the third round.
Well, that was over a decade ago with a different GM. So
I know
how that could possibly relate.
Jamal Charles was the third round pick.
That's those guys exist.
Right.
There's good talent in the third round.
Right.
That's true. But I hear what you're saying, Stephen. Like, it's hard to get a player that's special.
Yes.
And the Chiefs haven't had the opportunity to get one of those special players at a premium position because they haven't been drafted in the top 15
Hold on, Nate.
forever.
Hold on. They've had an opportunity. You just got to give up a lot to go up and get. So let's not say they don't have an opportunity. But
the one third round pick Jake decides to use is a Hall of Fame tight end that was drafted
Why wouldn't I?
13 years ago by a different GM.
That guy exists.
Right. And in that third round, the Chiefs also took Niall Davis.
Hey,
so I didn't
kick
pick Niall Davis.
It's still a bad pick, though, in the third round. I mean, yes.
That's several 100-yard plus kickoff returns.
Right.
Touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You know?
Just get your Kelsey.
And in 26, you remember the third round pick there? Tavari Russell didn't even make it to opening day.
Whoa.
So that Kelsey would be on one end, and the guy that didn't make it out of training camp would be the other. So they've hit all notes
he
there.
He pretty much got himself kicked off of the roster, I think.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Go on.
No.
Something had to happen.
I heard there were some things that
10
happened
years ago.
I know. I heard back then. I heard there was some stuff that happened.
Well, we all did. You want to say something? I mean, go ahead. Yeah, but look, he was the cleanest prospect of those other guys we talked about. There were some flaws there that with Reuben Bain and even with Jordan Tyson. Now we can look back at that in a couple of years and people could look foolish. Reuben Bain could end up being a stud, or Jordan Tyson if he plays the next couple of years and doesn't have any injury issues. But they are banking on, and this is why I feel confident in him being a stud. And I know the argument works both ways. People can say, well, they're so good at identifying cornerback talent, they didn't need to go up and get a guy in the top 10. They didn't need to go up to 6 to get a corner. But they're so good at identifying cornerback talent, if they thought this guy was worthy of that kind of move, he must be really, really good. And they know really, really good corners. Think of the ways they've acquired stud corners. They traded for Charvarius Ward, and everyone was like, who? What? Do you remember what they traded for him?
The offensive lineman.
Parker Anger. And then he ends up being he turned into a Pro Bowl, all-pro level corner. They've drafted Marcus Peters. They moved up in the first round to get Trent McDuffie. They drafted Jalen Watson. They've
L'Jarius
Sneed, all from trades, free agency, just drafting them. First round, fourth round, seventh round. So they've shown that.
They've shown an ability there to identify talent at that position, but then also develop it.
Yeah, and if they think he's worthy of that move, then he should be really damn good.
And talent that fits the system that they play. To the right kind of corner for their system. And the thing is, like, there's levels to it because all those guys you listed off, the guys that they were the most aggressive with were the two biggest stars. Peters obviously had his issues, but he was a playmaker. He was an absolute playmaker, and McDuffie was the best all-around corner of all of them. Sneed was probably the one guy that they got that turned into almost like a star. I mean, that last year he had in Kansas City was incredible. But for the most part, if they've shown, hey, we are going to be aggressive with this guy. I mean, McDuffie they were aggressive with, and he was better than all of those guys.
They know what they're doing when it comes to corners. We'll take a break.
I'll say this too, real quick on the way to the break. Like, at some point, Brett Veach has to earn everybody's trust in regards to people that are criticizing moving up. And we can talk about obviously the little deal and things like that, but the moves that they have made on a whole over his tenure here have absolutely worked out for this team, because you're not going to hit on every single one, and they've hit on a lot of draft picks that a lot of other teams have missed on. For sure.
We'll talk about that after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to the show. There was an interesting article. We briefly talked about this yesterday, but I want to bring it back to get both Nate and Marc's reaction to this. Albert Breer from Monday Morning Quarterback, SI.com, gave a little insight into what the Chiefs did with that first round pick, moving up to 6. And so he writes that Brett Veach, after asking around and working with his analytics folks, decided they weren't going to be able to get into the top 5. And so they felt that 4 players were going to be out of play for them. Mendoza, Love, Reese, and David Bailey. So from there, that's when they decided that they needed to get LSU corner Mansour Delane. Steve Spagnuolo had said that he saw some parallels to L'Jarius Sneed in Delane's game, with his fluidity, patience, calm style of play, ball skills, inside-out versatility, and rare makeup speed. And once he ran a 4.3 at the in the 40-yard dash at his pro day, they all agreed that Delane was one of the best corner prospects to come out this decade. And his value was also bolstered by what happened, Mark, as you mentioned, with Tennessee corner Jermod McCoy, who entered the process as a 1B to Delane's 1A, but his draft stock plummeted because of a very unfortunate prognosis on his knee. And so it had a lot of teams doubting he'd even make it to the end of his rookie contract. So that left Delane alone at the top with a big gap between him and corner number 2. And so, according to Brett Veach and his people, they felt like it was very likely that the Saints, who lost a couple of corners, were going to take Delane. And so they brought McCoy in for a 30 visit. They chose not to do that with Delane. We heard about Spag suggesting let's just do a Zoom with him, as to not attract attention to how much the Chiefs were interested in Delane. They figured out if they stayed at 9, and so here's the scenario I present to you. They figured out if they stayed at 9 and didn't get Delane, and Delane went to the Saints, they would end up with either Caleb Downs or Jordan Tyson. Then they'd probably have to move up to land San Diego State corner Chris Johnson and give up a 3rd or 4th rounder to do it. So the logic followed, why not just give up the 3rd rounder and get the guy that they liked more? And then, of course, they get Peter Woods with pick number 29. And so now that you know, at least according to Albert Breer, what plan B would have been, and let's just say it would have taken a 4th round pick to move up to get Chris Johnson, not a 3rd, because what did we say? What is he? What did he go, 27?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay, so let's say a 4th round pick. Now that you know what the alternative is, would you have rather them stayed at 9 and taken Caleb Downs or Jordan Tyson, and then use a 4th round pick to move up from 29 to take the second best corner in Chris Johnson, versus what they did?
I don't know. I feel like we should have this conversation like 2 years from now, because we don't know.
It's too easy.
Well, true. I'll just say this, for the sake of this exercise, I'm fine with them moving up to get their guy. Like, again, we'll find out in the future what it looks like, but if that's your guy and you feel like he's head over heels, ranked higher in the top corner in the draft, and that's a position not only of need, but one as you deem the best player available at that time, then I'm okay with it. I really am. I'd rather have you be decisive on that than try to roll the dice a little bit too much and then miss out on maybe 2 of your guys, right? Like, potentially all of a sudden, because you talk about the Saints right there potentially taking a corner, you know, we mentioned earlier that and Jake mentioned this, that the Browns were going to pick their tackle no matter what. Like, the Browns also were looking to get out of where they were at, either also because they knew they could, based on the tackle market, they could probably drop down. So somebody else could have made a deal for somebody else up higher, right, that could have trickled everything down, where you could have gotten potentially Delane at 9, or he might have been gone also, and then Jordan Tyson might have been gone, or somebody else might have been gone for you. So I'm okay with the move. I really am.
I wouldn't be that excited about getting a safety. I mean, maybe Downs will be a generational player, but, you know, to me...
About Jordan Tyson.
I would be excited about getting a big-time wide receiver for Mahomes to throw to. I know I heard you make this point yesterday, and I think it's a really interesting one, that it seems pretty clear in this draft that the Chiefs felt like our problems on defense were about personnel, and our problems on offense were more about coaching and scheme, right? Like that's
and the running back personnel.
And I guess that's kind of what I mean by scheme a little bit.
Let's bring in a new wide receiver coach. Let's bring back Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
Let's totally overhaul the running back room, and we good.
Yeah, and
defensively, we need a bunch of new players.
Right. Like it was pretty obvious from what Andy Reid said, and having conversations with Jesse Newell, he looked up the stats on it that they feel like a healthy Xavier Worthy is a much bigger weapon because they stopped using him in the middle of the field last year. My pushback on that a little bit is, are we ever going to get a healthy Worthy at that size in this league if he's running across the middle of the field? But they believe that. They believe he's better if he's healthy, so they believe that they can get more out of those positions. I think we all agreed that the wide receiver room was not well coached, last year, and that they didn't get the most out of what they had. It wasn't a disciplined unit, and they got a guy like, Bieniemy there. So, and the running game, that was the big thing Andy Reid talked about as soon as the year was over. Nobody respected us in the run game, and that hurt the pass game. So, I'd like to see them get a wide receiver, sure, but I think they needed a corner and a defensive lineman more than anything. So I would rather have that than a safety or a wide receiver right now.
We've got Nate Ducati and Marc Boerigter in studio. We'll be right back after this on WHB.